Every once in a while we get, hey, I'm super single. What's the difference between single and super single?
There's no situationships. There's no back and forth. There's no talking. There's no one I'm waiting to hear a good morning or a good night from.
Okay.
Um, there's no going out to dinners. Not
Do you have any
really.
guy friends?
I have a lot of guy friends, and
Ah, there it is.
no,
Okay.
no, no,
Go
no.
on. No, please continue.
But the guys that I'm friends with, I feel that I'm open enough to put that boundary in place. Like if you're my guy friend, then you know you're not getting any. Like,
So, Rich, do you wanna educate the ladies on why women are never single? Do you want to go down that path?
Yeah, they say that women are never single because they're always dealing with some guy somewhere, somehow. Shoe doesn't fit for that one?
I'm trying to think of a name in my head that like somebody I might deal with more on a regular basis than someone else.
Are you on a dating app?
No.
Do you have friends with benefits?
No.
Are you talking to anybody that you're romantically interested in?
Not at all.
Is anybody doing any of those things on the other side of the equation to you and you may not be reciprocating?
I am pretty blunt in putting my foot down and saying that's not going to happen.
You just cut them off right away. Hey, Diaz, I dig your vibe. Let's grab a drink. Nope.
No, if
it's
somebody else, if it's a vibe that I'm like, if I'm also vibing with that person, like, yeah, you got to catch me on my free time and maybe we can like talk at some point. But I don't know. I left a bad relationship and then my standards got really high. And now I just like, shit, did I make them too high? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not against the idea of dating. I'm not against I want to hit my like soft girl era. I want to let the tough exterior down. I want to have, princess treatment and be a girl and be in that relationship. But it's going to take a lot to get me there. And I'm pretty quick on knowing if I'm going to vibe with someone or not. And I don't go anywhere. I sell vitamins from my house online. I go to the gym. I don't have like an outside job. So it's not like I'm just waiting for like the Prince of Dubai to go shopping at Publix and like see me in my, gym gear and fall in love. That's where I'm at right now.
Prince of Dubai. Wow.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not, and I go out.
You're setting that bar right up there, Diaz.
I know. And I don't know. I might've messed myself up with that.
All right. So, you mentioned the last relationship was bad. So what happened? Why did you leave that?
It was a abusive, alcoholic fueled, toxic relationship. And I lived up north. I owned a farm and we farmed together. And then I started to want to evolve more and that wasn't happening. And it just became a huge split and the drinking just got out of control. And I have 3 kids. So I was like, I'm not going through this anymore. I'm selling my farm. I'm moving and I'm done. And I moved to Florida on my own and raised 3 kids on my own.
You mentioned that you wanted to move on or progress. I'm not sure if I heard that correctly. Like, were you looking for more out of the relationship or?
No, just not to be an alcoholic piece of shit.
Oh, okay. So at what point did you realize that he was an alcoholic?
After we actually had split and then we had a visit again and then I got pregnant and then, I'm going to change for the baby and blah, 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 and that whole deal. And then I participated in being an alcoholic cowgirl and doing all of those things. And then it just became too much and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I wanted to make money and make moves and get healthy. And I went on that path. And when the toxicity level became eggshells in my house, and when it turned from belittling to actual violence, I realized, like, I don't know how I got myself into this position.
Physical violence?
Yes.
Okay.
So after I realized, like, I don't know when I lost that part of me, because like, I wasn't that person that ever took that shit before. And then it slowly ate at me. And then all of a sudden it was like, what am I going to do? And then one day I woke up like, I'm not going to take this anymore. And Chris,
how hot was this dude that you invited him into your life and moved him in and you guys had a kid together? and
It
you
was
overlooked
so
his drinking.
bad. I overlooked everything. It was so
Hold on, I
bad.
want to ask you a follow up. Like, how old were you when you met, and then how long did you stay together?
We were together for 8 years.
And you met when? Like, how old were you when you met, and how old was
31.
he?
31-ish. I don't know.
Okay, so this is like recent.
You
Yeah,
guys had the 3 kids together, or is it just the most
I
recent
had
one?
I had 2 kids previously, and he helped me raise my other 2 kids. Like it
Okay.
was Brady Bunch, his kids, my kids. Everything was going good, and then it became not so good. And I
Yeah.
moved from Vegas. I lived in Vegas for 7 years, and then I went back to Western New York, like right on Pennsylvania and New York line, and decided I was going to do like small town farm girl and get horses and cows and raise animals and
Isn't that
all
the
that.
dream for all girls today?
No,
Go get
it's
the
not. It's
farm
not
and
the fucking dream. You don't
sucks.
want chickens. You don't want goats. You don't want cows. Like I did it all day, all night.
It's no good.
No good. And
It's not
especially in
worth it.
Western New York, it's a tundra. Like it's ice
Okay.
all the time. So I
Because I
tried
keep
it.
hearing women say, I want to get a farm and raise
They don't.
animals and grow shit.
They don't.
No?
They don't. And it's the amount of backbreaking labor it takes. And I like the challenge of labor. I was, in the trenches, so to speak, and doing all of the things. And I really do kind of miss the farming part of it. But I was with someone that just took pieces of me, and I let it happen, and I became toxic myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the self-awareness that my kids are being negatively affected by me not getting out of my own way. And I was like, I'm done.
So
And
what standards did you have to raise after you left this guy?
everything. I mean, I started taking my health into better consideration. I started selling vitamins, and it became like tunnel vision on self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, I'm a very blunt, overtly sexual, funny, like locker room talk type person. So people, I feel like sometimes I attract that, and it's not, I don't want to be sexualized, even though I make jokes all the time, you know what I mean? So it's very hard to kind of find that happy medium. Like, yeah, I'm joking with you. We're having those talks, but legit, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's probably why I'm super single.
So this is with the guy friends that you're hanging out with. You're cracking the sexual
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's been so long, and now it's like I feel like I stayed in that toxic relationship for so long because it was that that attachment through sex, like that's when you feel attached. That's when you have your moment of feeling valid and like great sex I'm gonna stay around for. And then all of a sudden it became, I dated one guy in between that and now, great guy, just didn't work out. But he was like Prince Charming, had a bunch of money and like just super nice, like everything. And now I'm like, I'm gonna wait for that again. So,
Well, if you had it, what are you waiting
Why'd
for?
you hold on to
right?
it?
Like, what do you mean? Yeah.
no, like I dated one guy after that horrible relationship that was like it, like could have been. That's like my new standard, I guess to say.
Right, but you're not in that relationship anymore. Why?
No, it was just a
Boring.
no, it wasn't boring at all. He was a great guy. There was just a couple of things that I was still triggered with, I feel like, from before, and I was overreacting, and not even overreacting because I feel like I'd probably do the same shit now, but like I'm the type of person that needs the reassurance. I have that attachment where like if we don't talk, like what happened, you know what I mean? And I'm also a super sassy and don't stop talking, and I feel like there's a little bit of a control issue just because he did have a ton of money, and that's not my motivations. Like I'm not going to shut up if you have a bunch of money, so it just didn't work out, and we had an amicable separation. Not separation, just we just quit talking. We weren't like
So I'm a little bit confused. So did he want you to shut up, or did he make a comment about you speaking too much, or
he made a comment about he could get his ex-wife to do anything, just give her $1 million. She'll move wherever I tell her to move. Or she'll do whatever I tell her to do.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, you're not going to give me $1 million to do whatever you tell me to do, type deal. And I don't know. I just felt an ick from that, I guess.
But wouldn't it make sense if you have a guy like that in the palm of your hand to be somewhat, pliable with him, like a little more agreeable, less sassy? I mean, these guys aren't a dime a dozen. They're not sitting in every street corner, right?
I know. I fucked that up. I know. I get that. No, yeah, I get it.
Okay, so.
But no, I mean, I realized that, but there's just, he lives on the other side of the state, and he also had just got out of not a bad marriage. He just split from a 10-year marriage, and I was still in the state of, why didn't you text me in the morning? And now I'm like, that's stupid. That's annoying. And I was annoying. And I get that I am a little bit of an annoying human being, but like, I was like grilling him, like, what are you doing? Like, you're running a $1 billion company, and I'm bitching that I didn't get a good morning text. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it happened. I grew. I learned from it. I understand that I wasn't ready for that type, and he might have not been either.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.